Hi, my name is Ericka.
And my name's Chris.
And we're here to introduce you to AuditWatch Level 2 Experienced Staff Training.
Level 2 is a 24 CPE hour course and is intended for audit personnel that typically have from 5 to 21 months of experience.
So basically, someone that has 1 or 2 busy seasons of experience as a staff person.
Exactly. Level 2 builds on our Level 1 class and introduces you to the complete audit process and plan. Sometimes we have participants who may have taken their beginning staff training at their firms or through another CPE provider. This course is designed to allow those participants to jump right in as well.
Typically, in your second or third busy season, your firm's expectations of you to be able to really understand the client's business and identify potential risks to the financial statements exponentially.
Yeah, so this class focuses on ways for you to significantly participate in the performance and the documentation of those planning activities. A lot of time is spent helping you become even more effective in areas like analytical procedures and in the various tests of details where evidence is obtained through activities like sampling, coverage testing, scope, and judgmental testing.
I really like teaching this class.
Yeah, me too, Ericka. It's really great to see participants finally start to see how all of the work that they've been doing over the last year or two really starts to come together to contribute to the overall engagement.
Definitely. This is a class where I get to see a lot of light bulbs start to go on in the minds of the participants.
Yeah, one of the first topics that we cover in Level 2 is the role of the experienced staff. Like Ericka mentioned, the second and third years see staff responsibilities and expectations significantly increase. So we're going to discuss those and talk about some of the core auditing skills that are critical to success.
Also, like we mentioned earlier, we get a lot more into the audit plan process. The discussion we get into will greatly improve your ability to assist the engagement team in gathering, updating, and documenting the understanding of the entity and in identifying potential material misstatement.
Right. And I really like how this section expands on the auditor's responsibilities to understand the client's internal controls and how it helps those experienced staff play a greater role in evaluating the design effectiveness and in verifying the implementation of the client's key controls.
Yeah, me too, especially now that the new auditor's opinion better emphasizes management's responsibility to design, implement, and maintain effective internal controls.
Yeah, and when it comes to analytical procedures, Level 2 again expands the knowledge you gained in Level 1 or other training, helping you link what you now know about the client, the industry, etc., to help you develop very effective expectations. We're going to discuss exactly how strong analytics provide sound audit evidence and how, when you do them the right way, actually can be more effective and efficient in helping you gain that audit evidence.
After understanding how those analytics can effectively reduce and maybe even eliminate some tested details, we'll discuss different ways of testing details such as sampling, coverage, scope, and judgmental.
Right. We're going to focus our efforts in this section to helping you understand exactly how audit sampling is used to make sure that you do it the most effective and efficient way possible. We're going to actually perform a case study to test the existence of accounts receivable in this section.
When I was an experienced staff, I remember getting assigned to some of the more difficult areas where it was really hard to get solid evidence.
Yeah, you mean areas, things like, valuation, judgments, valuation of inventory, allowance for doubtful accounts, litigation accruals, things like that.
Yeah, those areas can be tricky since there's often not a lot of hard support for those numbers.
I agree, and that's why we'll be discussing some of the options that experienced staff can bring to the engagement team to allow the team to feel more confident in the evidence that actually is available. We'll talk about testing management's estimation process, the controls surrounding those processes, testing by creating independent expectations, and testing when subsequent events information is available.
Yeah, I remember having to really look at my clients' revenue recognition policies as well. I remember being this a really tricky area.
Yeah, that's right, and especially with some of the more complicated revenue recognition criteria companies are currently engaging in. Testing of revenues gets a lot of attention in this class.
Exactly, and that's why the risk of material misstatement due to error or fraud on revenue recognition is automatically considered a significant risk in almost all of our clients.
Exactly. So we're going to spend a lot of time explaining the revenue recognition criteria to empower you to identify those possible revenue recognition issues to bring to the attention of your engagement team. We'll also talk about ways to better link your internal controls work, the analytics work that we talked about earlier, and your test of details to help mitigate those risks more effectively.
And in the management letter section, we'll discuss how to better recognize issues that require you to communicate with management or those charged with governance. We'll discuss internal control deficiencies and talk about developing value-added business-related comments too.
Right, and Ericka, I think this is a really important section, especially because many firms these days are getting a lot of fee pressure from their clients and they're having to do a lot more with less in many cases. Presenting these value-added comments in addition to the audit opinion or the accountant's report is critical in this current environment.
It sure is. And next we're going to move into financial reporting section where you'll deal with increased responsibility to help draft the financial statements.
You'll learn some of the great techniques to help you create your client statement of cash flows.
And we'll also discuss the reporting requirements, list some of the more common issues that auditors face, and how to more effectively and efficiently utilize that famous disclosure checklist.
Right, finally. And on a less technical, more lighthearted topic, you'll get into some of the discussions about how to get more creative in helping your team identify, analyze, and solve some problems.
You mean things like brainstorming, idea quotas, and spider diagrams?
Yeah, exactly, Ericka.
Well, okay. The final section of level 2 is a module that really gets into an area where accountants often get way off track, performing compilations and reviews.
Yeah, Ericka, I remember how some of the engagement teams that I worked with did way too much work in this area. Some of our compilations were like reviews, and our reviews were like mini audits.
And that's why we have this module, to enable you and experienced staff, who often are the primary accountant assigned to these types of engagements, understand what is and is not required so you can assist the team in maximizing profitability. And that's always a good thing.
You know, this sounds like a really pretty tough course.
It is challenging, but remember, AuditWatch has a unique way of presenting a lot of the more technical stuff to make it less intimidating and often fun. And of course, you get instructors like us that do their very best to help you learn without also having a great time.
Right, Ericka, I agree, and I think a lot of the games, case studies, and team interactions really help simplify some of the more complex topics and really help the knowledge stick.
I know, I really enjoy teaching this class.
Yeah, me too.
All right, that's a quick introduction to our Level 2 Experienced Staff class. I hope this presentation has given you the information you need to get registered for one of our public sessions or in-house sessions this year.
Thanks, Ericka. Everybody have a good day.